Good morning. I've got a bit of a cough. It is 6:30, maybe just past. It sounds pretty quiet out there. Can't hear any wind. The lake seems pretty quiet, so let's check it out. Oh, look at that. So it's day 3 of crossing Lake Winnipeg, and what an absolute perler of a day. There was a fire over the other side of the lake, so I woke up to this haze. Wow, such a calm and peaceful morning. Last night was pretty peaceful when I went to bed, but now it's even more. Looks like there's just not a breath of wind out there. So it's probably about 7 o'clock now, close to it. So let's get packed up, let's get out there. Let's take advantage of this beauty. Beautiful. Paddling this lake is a different beast than the rivers, and a lot of it is a mental game. When I look into the distance as far as I can see, I just know I have to go that way, knowing I won't reach my destination, but just to get a little closer to it, then to do it again tomorrow, and again the next day, and again and again. But the motivation is the weather. A part of me has accepted that there will be days when the weather just won't allow me to paddle. So when the weather's favorable, I have to get moving. All right, I'm packed up, ready to go. So we're gonna head out. It's beautiful out there, no wind at all, doesn't look like. But the last thing that I do before I leave camp, here in Canada they get a lot of forest fires. So the last thing I do and I'm even going to throw one more over that, just in case. All right, so we're back on the lake. I started probably just before 9, probably about 9:15. And I actually came out a little way just to see what the wind was doing. And it's actually blowing quite strong from the west. So it's good for me because it means I can stay close to the shore and be sheltered. But at the same time, it's actually blowing quite hard when you get out. I'm still only 100 meters offshore and it's blowing quite hard. So I'm just making my way back closer. So westerly is good because I'm protected by the shoreline. But it's bad in the sense that I really have to just follow the shoreline now. So sort of, I'm supposed to go the long way. I can't cut across, point to point today. Because if it blows west, then it'll be blowing me out into the middle of the lake. And even though behind me it looks pretty calm, it's the sea state is calm because it's a westerly, but the wind strength is quite strong. And I don't want to be stuck out there and struggling to get back. So yeah, today I'm going to stick to the shoreline. A little concern that I have at the moment is my knee. You know from a few weeks ago, my knee was swollen and I couldn't move, I couldn't walk. And I had to have 12 days off this trip until it was better. And just this morning I woke up and it's just a little bit sore again. and it's been sore the whole time. Like it's never fully 100% recovered, but you know, it was kind of like 95%. It felt like to me. You know, swelling had gone down and things, but it was just a little bit of pain like down my shin when I moved in certain positions. But now it's, I don't know, it's just a little bit more sore than the last week or so. So I need to nurse that. I need to keep that the forefront of my mind, because I don't want that to be the end of this trip, because it is serious. I don't want to be stuck out here disabled, and I also don't want to get it to a point where I'm putting myself at risk or my leg at risk, like, you know, the risk of losing my leg or something. So, you know, I'm going to take that seriously, and so yeah, that's just on my mind a little bit this morning. So you might be thinking, why your knee? And I was thinking the same thing when it first happened. Like, why not my shoulder? Why not my elbow? You know, my wrist? Why my knee is swollen and sore? And when I've started paddling again, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I sort of took note on what does my body do when I'm stroking. And I do notice that I tense my legs, you know, and I don't know why, but my left one, which is the sore one, I do that a bit more. And I can sort of see how every single stroke that I do, it rubs. You know, there's a, you know, your kneecap would rub every time, rub, and it's only small, it's only minor, but you know, I've never been in a position in my life where I've done this before and had that sort of movement on my leg for long periods of time. So I can understand now why it's my knee. Yeah. So now I'm consciously, each paddle that I do, I'm consciously trying to relax my leg completely without any movement at all. But what would be freaking awesome would be if the wind just shifted a little bit to a norwesterly. At the moment it's a westerly, which blows me out that way. But if it was a norwesterly, it would blow me in the perfect direction, and I could put my umbrella up and just rest my leg completely and just sail. So praying to the weather gods today just to shift that wind just slightly a bit more to the north. Thank you. Please. Because all it will take is an easterly wind. At any point, if the wind ever shifts to the east, basically I can't go anywhere. Unless it's a very light wind. But even a moderate wind from the east will create large waves for me to try to battle, and that's just not ideal. And if that happens, then I'd have to just set up camp and basically just stay there. It could be days until I can paddle again if that happens. So while the weather is like this, keep moving forward. So it's very hazy today, and yesterday, or maybe it was the day before yesterday, way off in the distance over there, like on the other side of the lake, which you can't see, I thought I saw smoke, like the start of the beginning stages of a fire. And maybe today it's hazy because maybe there's a forest fire over there. Because it's 9 o'clock, we're just gone 9 probably, 10 past 9. And normally that sort of cloud and things would burn off by now, but it's not. So it seems like the weather gods heard my prayers, and the wind's directly behind me now. So it's pushing me along nicely. I'm still gonna paddle, but yeah, really helped me out this wind right now. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a wolf. The wolf over there under the tree. That wolf looked sad, didn't it? His tail was between his legs, just walking down the beach, just having a think. I hope he's alright. I hope he didn't get kicked out of his, what are they called? What's a group of wolves called? Pack. Hope he didn't get kicked out of his pack. For anyone who's wondering what I'm drinking out here, I'm drinking lake water at the moment. A lot of locals were like, ugh, don't do that. But you know, when you're out here for as long as I am, I can't bring water with me. I don't have enough space, and I'm drinking a lot of water during the day. So I've got a couple of these. These are water bottles that have got a filter on the lid at the bottom here. So basically I scoop up the water with this one, and then with this one here I push it down, and here's the filter at the bottom, and it filters the water depending on where I am. There were some areas of the Saskatchewan River that I was just like, I'm not going to drink that. I don't know why, I just didn't. I always sort of trust my gut feelings, you know, and some areas I just didn't trust. Sometimes I don't like taking water from the shore, like right next to the shore where it's, you know, stirring up all the dirt and the sand. So, you know, while I'm paddling and before I go into camp, yeah, I don't know what that is, 5 liters maybe, I'll just fill that up with water out, you know, when I'm 100 meters or more off the shore, and scoop up some of the cleaner water and then take it in. And last night that's what I did, and I boiled last night and this morning. So I was boiling it and filtering it, and then this morning I had it on the front of the canoe before I pushed the canoe into the water, and just a little wave rocked the canoe and it fell off and just spilt everywhere, and I lost all my drinking water for today that I worked so hard on last night. I double, you know what I mean, I double filtered it. I boiled it, and normally that would be good enough. You know, boil water for a few minutes and then you know, let it cool and drink. But you know, I was boiling it, I let it cool, put it into my water filter, then I filtered it just for extra filtration. And then I tipped it all back into that jug so that today I had plenty and I didn't have to keep scooping water up while I'm paddling. But it fell off the canoe and the lid came off, and I lost all of my water, every drop, which is annoying. I just worked so hard on that water. But literally underneath me is about a quadrillion liters of water that I can drink, just filtering through my bottle. So that's what I do. That is how I stay hydrated out here. I drink the water and I'm paddling on. Man, some of these swell are pretty big. Lake Winnipeg, which I think is the 11th largest lake in the world, faces a growing environmental crisis. Large amounts of algae bloom are now found in the lake, supposedly caused by pollution from agricultural runoff, urban wastewater, and industrial activities. These blooms, driven by phosphorus and nitrogen from fertilizers and detergents, choke the lake's ecosystem, and some blooms release harmful toxins, making the water unsafe for drinking, recreation, and wildlife. so let's hope there's no toxins in the water I'm drinking. Many believe that this issue is critical, and the future of Lake Winnipeg hangs in the balance. So this point here is the point this morning that you could see way off in the distance, and I've just made it here. It's exactly 1 o'clock. Oh, what does that mean? It means 4 hours basically. 4 hours to get here. And now that I'm coming around this point, based on what the wind's been doing this morning and the swell, it should be much calmer. Not that it's been rough, it's been a little bit at the end there, but now that I've turned and I'm sort of heading, I suppose, closer towards south, yeah, I think it's going to be really calm and probably really hot because there'll be no more wind. I'll be protected by this land on my right now. Oh boy. And yeah, I was right. It's very calm and peaceful around this side. Whew. The water's nice and clear here. You can see the bottom. All right, and we're fishing. Fish on. I don't even know what that is. It looked like a snapper. It's definitely not a snapper. What is that? What is that? Hello, buddy. Now, I don't know my freshwater fish at all. But what is that? And is it big for what it is? And can you eat it? I'm not going to keep this one, I'm not going to eat it. But just in case for next time. It's pretty good size, that'll feed me well. See you, buddy. Yeah, I got no idea what that was. Pretty much the only, I don't know my freshwater fish. The only fish I know are pike and walleye. Besides that, I don't really know my freshwater fish. But leave a comment. I'd like to know what that was. Obviously, I know my saltwater fish, but not my freshwater fish. And the saltwater, that kind of looked like a silver drummer. In saltwater, you can eat it. You can eat them, but there's not really a lot of meat on them. Even one that size, they've got a lot of guts. I wonder if that's like the freshwater relation, the freshwater cousin of a silver drummer. Well, let's catch another. There's got to be a forest fire somewhere nearby. When you look up, you see clouds, but behind the clouds is just haze. It's just haze, and then I could even look at the sun, and it's like it's just not. It's warm. It's such a warm day, but yeah, must be some fires somewhere. So the wind has shifted. and it's picked up. It's coming this way now. I think that's more of a northerly, which is still okay for me. It means it might get a bit rough, but at least the wind is pushing me in towards land. So it's kind of okay by me, that one. I can kind of ride the wind a bit, ride the swell, without running the risk of getting pushed out to, I was going to say pushed out to sea, but pushed out to lake. Fish on. I think this one's a pike. Yep. Pike. Okay, bud, I'm gonna let you go. Take it easy, take it easy. Quick shot, no. He's gone. They're slippery, those pikes. So that wind is coming from the north right now. So right when I come around this point, and I'm going to be facing a bit more south, down to that next point I think you can see, then I should be able to use the wind and I should be sheltered from the swell. So today seems to just be working out. Oh, I forgot as well. What about those mosquitoes last night? They were like swarming around the tree. I heard them. I thought they were like a swarm of bees coming or something. That's how many they were. Frickin' millions. Man, that was something out of a horror movie. They all just turned and looked at me at the same time, you know. Man, that many could kill someone. That many would probably take down a moose. That was ridiculous. That was kind of scary. I've never seen that many mosquitoes in my life, all just hanging out together. Well, it's 5 o'clock and this is about the time when I start thinking about camping. I usually paddle for another an hour or 45 minutes-ish from now, just while I'm looking for a good camp, but not tonight. I've done maybe 20, I think I've done about 23 miles so far, so very similar to the previous 2 days. But I'm going to gun it now. Across the bay there's this bit of a knob that sticks out, but it's 5 miles from here. So that's going to take me probably an hour and a half. And I'm skipping the bay. I'm cutting across, which I'm taking a risk. But today the weather has been great. And I messaged a friend just now just to say, hey, what's the weather doing? What's the weather doing tonight, like for the next 4 hours? And he told me the report and he said it's meant to be dying, the wind. So it's already sort of really good conditions. And he said the wind is meant to die a bit more. So I'm kind of comfortable. And the reason I'm doing it is because tomorrow, or at least my next stage, is to cross from one side. It's hard to explain. I basically have to cover quite a bit of ground in the open lake. There's maybe 1 or 2 islands in between, but I think it's about 15 miles. The wind tomorrow is good for me to do that crossing. Now I could just follow the land all the way around, but that will add maybe another day to my trip doing that. So, and that's still a definite possibility that I'm going to do that. I'll figure that one out tomorrow. You know, once I check what the weather's actually doing, what the wind is actually doing. But so far it's looking good for me to cross. And there's a couple of islands that I can stop at, kind of like, let's say, safety islands. But again, I'm not going to take any unnecessary risks. I will only do that tomorrow if it really does feel, if I really do feel comfortable. But tonight, or right now, I've got an hour and a half left. So I'm probably going to get to this other side between 6:30 and 7 probably. And that will just make tomorrow so much easier. It means I can just straight away get up and start crossing. It's pretty crazy beautiful out here at the moment. I am exhausted. It's 6:34 and I've decided I'm going to stay the night on one of these two islands. I'll check that one out first on the way past, but at the moment I like that one just because it's got a couple of trees on it. But I just stopped just beforehand just to take it in because it's frickin', look out that way. I've only ever heard about this lake being so dangerous, you know, and it is. I know it is. I can already see that it is. But no one ever said how beautiful it is. I think that's a lot of people's default, you know, when, you know, on an adventure like this, it's always watch out, beware of this. Don't do that, watch out for this, that's dangerous, you know, but not many people said it's gonna be beautiful, you know. Some people did, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think it's a default for a lot of us is to focus on what could go wrong instead of what can go right. And when it does go right, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculously beautiful. And again, it's strange for me. It's strange because I know there's no one around here. I'm just sitting here floating far away from, there's me and that bird, a few birds over there. And you know, I think that's what makes it special, because I know that there's no one here, there's no one around for a long way. So it's just me sitting, me just sitting in the world, you know. I've got this whole area, this whole area is my world, that I'm just on my own, just chilling. I haven't done any chilling today. It's just been go, go, go from 9 o'clock to now. So, well, it's still not finished. So, yeah, 25 to 7. What's that? 9.5 hours so far. About another 10 minutes to go, and I'll be at that island, and I'm going to set up camp on one of those two. So that'll be cool. Hopefully they're campable. The birds don't want to share their island with me. Well, it doesn't look like I'll be able to get a peg in the ground for my tent, but I'll make it work. Well, I don't know how comfortable it's going to be in my tent on top of rocks. But I'm gonna make it work. So there's a bunch of these like flat rocks like this, big ones, small ones. So in this area here, I'm gonna make a like relatively, I'm just gonna move them around this area and get it nice and flat. Well, relatively flat, flat enough. Alright, let's see how good the fishing is on this island. I'm going to do one cast, just because I'm still setting up camp, but I'm just interested. One cast to see if I get something. Oh, thought I got something snagged. Alright, two casts. Alright, three casts. Alright. Got the sun setting behind me there. So I'm on my little island camp, and it's quite a lot of sandflies, but they don't seem to be landing on me, so I don't mind. I'm going to set up camp a bit differently tonight. I'm going to keep it real simple, real basic. I'm not even going to make a fire. There's a couple of bits of wood around here that I could make a fire, but I want to, I just don't want to waste time, and I just want to get as much sleep as I can. Because tomorrow, basically, I don't know if you can see behind me there, but basically, I don't know if you can see those islands. That's dead east. So there's some islands there, and on the other side of those islands is the other side. So this bay goes in there quite far, like I want to say about 15 miles, and then it does a turn. And it's called, what's down there? Dolphin River. I think it's a reserve. And so I could go that way and play it safe. I could go that way and just go the whole long way around, but that would add another day. And tomorrow the wind is a norwesterly. So, of course, in the morning I'm going to reassess. I'm not just going to do it. But right now, at this stage, based on the weather, I'm thinking I'm going to gun it straight across. From here, from point to point, from where I am now to the closest point on the other side of the bay is 12 miles. You know, that could be like 5 hours for me. But there's some islands in the middle. So it could be like 2.5 hours to the island, reassess, go again. And if I can't push from the island, I'll just wait on the island. The wind is changing over the next few days. So tomorrow we got a norwesterly, but apparently it's shifting to a westerly and then shifting to a southerly. And then, so that's Monday tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the wind picks up to 20 knots from the east southeast, which is not good for me. So at the very least, while I've got the wind, I want to get across to the other side, because those 3 days of 20 knots, the chances are I'm not going to be paddling. And then I don't know what's after that. I don't really trust weather anywhere after 3 days. 3 days I'm okay. Anything after 3 days is just pointless, really. I think it's okay for a guide, but wouldn't put my house on it. So anyway, that's the plan. I've set up my tent on some rocks. I've moved some rocks around and get the area as flat as I can. So hopefully I don't have a rock stabbing me in the back all night. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to make a fire. I'm going to use my gas stove, boil some water, and have some dehydrated food. And then I'm going to throw my tarp over all my stuff here. Normally I like pack it all, and I spend a lot of time like organizing and getting it, you know, I managed to get everything inside my tent and some things in the canoe, but tonight I'm just going to leave it all here in a pile, and I'm going to throw my tarp over it. And it just means tomorrow when I wake up, and I'm going to set my alarm early because I want to get out there early, really cross that and get that crossed off my list, crossing that bay. It just means tomorrow when I wake up, it should be a real quick, quick pack up. I won't even roll up my tent. I'll just take it down, throw it in my canoe, gone. I don't want to waste any time. So anyway, I'm gonna get some water on the boil, and I don't know, it must be 8:30, and I'm pretty much gonna go to bed as soon as I can. Also, most nights or every night, I make sure my camp is bear safe, and I don't have to do that tonight. I'm pretty confident that no bear is going to come out here and try to steal my food. There's no real like downtime on this trip. Like when I'm out paddling, I'm paddling, or I'm setting up camp, or I'm sleeping. Like I suppose I could paddle to like 3 p.m. and then have a few hours of just relaxing, but I haven't been doing that. I've been going and getting the maximum I can out of the day. And then, I'm setting up camp, I'm on my own, and it's a chore. Like it's actually, it takes time to do it properly, I think when you're on your own as well, it just takes double time. It's now 9:45, and I wanted to be asleep. I wanted to be asleep now, but I'm only just eating. By the time I have a little swim, I bathe, wash myself, set up camp, get water boiling. Today I'm eating butter chicken. And then, I don't know, maybe fly the drone around, get some shots for you guys, because there's no point on doing this, and there's no point on filming it and for a YouTube channel to show you guys if I'm not showing you where I am, so even just filming it takes, it just adds time. I'm pretty tired, I'm pretty exhausted today. Today I did 27 miles. 27 miles on the river was a pretty normal day, but 27 miles on the lake is pretty tough. Oh, I unloaded all my stuff, and then there was a better place over here to pull my canoe up on this island. So I paddled it round, but I paddled it round with nothing in it, and I realized it was the first time that I've ever paddled the canoe with nothing in it. And it was so light, it was so fast. Oh man, it was so fast. I was like, I can't believe this. So man, yeah, with all my gear, it's like that canoe is a tank. Oh yeah. Anyway, it was a good day, really good day. The weather was just perfect for me today. It really helped me out. And tomorrow morning, again, I want to stress, I'm not just going to gun it across the channel there if the weather's not right. If the weather's not right, I'm going to follow the coastline all the way around, and it'll add a day to my trip, but so be it. But tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to wake up early, and if it's looking good to cross, I'm going to go for it. Yeah. So, see you then. So once again, please like, share, subscribe, and say hi in the comments below. And if you want to support my channel in a bigger way, then please consider becoming a patron, where you will get first opportunity to come sailing with me, real-time updates, and much more. Becoming a patron keeps the journey going and the videos coming each week, and none of this would be possible otherwise. Just click the link in the description below. And don't forget to check out my swag store at www.whatintheswag.com and get yourself some merch. Also, don't forget I'm a sailboat captain, so if you need a captain or crew, then head to my website. It's www.yachtdeliver.com. Fill out the simple form and I can deliver your boat or captain a charter in any location of your choice. Thanks for watching and see you next week.